Hi, it's Kieran here. I had a question about how to use the Bootstrap grid system, so let's do a quick explainer video on that. I want to create something like this that is in the lower left corner. So I want a page with a header region at the top there, and then I want a left sidebar region, a content region, and a right sidebar region, and then no footer below. Okay, that's what I want. The way Bootstrap works is that the screen is divided into 12 columns, as you can see here. The little pink area there is the columns. So there's 12 of them. Now what you do is first you decide, the way you lay it out is you lay out the rows, and then inside the rows you lay out the columns. So we have two rows, this row with the header and then this row with everything else. The first row is going to just have one column, and the column's going to be 12 cells wide, 12 grid cells wide. The second row has 3 columns. This first one is 3 grid cells wide. This one here is 3 grid cells wide, and that leaves you at 6 for the center. So I've created a directory. As I do, I create a separate folder for every project I'm doing, and I'm going to start off by making a new file, and we'll call this, I'll save it, and I'll call it just grids.html. If I can type, there we go. Okay, now the way we start all of our projects is with template code. That's given to you. If I go to our website, and under professional sites you see there's a Get Bootstrappy lesson. Here it is here, and down here it gives you the template code that you can use to make a Bootstrap page. So I'm going to grab that, copy it, go back to brackets, and paste it all in there. Actually, I'm going to hit Control A to select all, and I'm going to try to get rid of this extra bit of indenting here. So Shift Tab, and that makes it a couple of times, gets rid of those lines. Also get rid of these couple of blank lines just to use the screen space well. Okay, so let's see what we've got. Down here in the body is the stuff that makes the rows. Currently, I've got a container. Everything in Bootstrap is inside a container, and then I have one row and one column. So that's the way this template is set up. If we preview that, and there it is. There's not much to it. There's just one row and one column. Nothing much there. Okay, so what I want is I want this. So if I go to back to our class website, there's a lesson called Grids that tells you how the grids work, and it gives you some code you can grab as well. There's the template again, and down here it goes through how to make some of the things we've got. Okay, now the first row is a header, and it's one row and it's one column, 12 units wide. So you give a div for the row, and inside you give a div for each column. Well, there's only one column here, so let me take that. I'll take that, copy that, switch back to brackets, and I'll get rid of what we have here so far, and that looks right, leaving the container, and I'll paste that in. All right, I'll make it look a little better. Okay, so this should be the header. In fact, it's pretty much the same as what we had. I'll just make this one say header so we can tell that that's what it is. So it's a row, it's 12 columns, it's a row that has one column in it, and it's 12 units wide. Okay, so I'm going to save that, and if we go look at our preview, wherever it went, where did it go? There it is. you can see we've just got header there. We can't really tell how many rows and columns there are, so how about I set the background color of the header to something that we can actually tell. But how would I figure out how to set the background color of this? Not really sure. Well, let's see. One thing I might do is to go to the Bootstrap website, the official site, and its URL is getbootstrap.com. And it has documentation and lots of examples and so on. There's theming and all sorts of other things. So this is a good place to explore, to find out lots of things. I'm going to type background in the search field, see what it says. Aha, backgrounds. Use background utility classes to change the appearance of progress bars. No, it's progress bars, not really what we want. Background color. Oh, there we go. Aha, here are some colors. Okay, so we've got, let's see, I'll make the top, I'll make it primary. So let's try that color. Switch back to brackets. Let's put that class in there. Nope, yeah, that's okay. So I've set the background color as primary. I'll save that, go back to our preview, and we can see, aha, there it is. All right, so we can tell that that header is taking all 12 columns. Now, I want to add some other stuff the next row. Now, every row, the class begins with a row. So every row is contained in a div with a class of row. All right, so there's the second row. Inside here, I want 3 columns. So let's put those in. Div, so this is the first column. This is going to be the column for the left sidebar. Remember, we want this. We want one row here with 3 columns, left sidebar, content, and right sidebar. Each one of those is going to be a div. So that's the first one. Let me put the others in there as well. Okay. So this is going to be a row for the left sidebar. In fact, to remind myself of that, I'm going to put in a comment, which it looks like this in HTML. This, I'll just put left sidebar. Left sidebar. All right. All right. Now we need to add a class to tell Bootstrap how many columns we want. If you remember, if we look down here, the left sidebar was 1, 2, 3 columns, right? So we'll say class equals, and then col dash, and then the number of columns we want, and that's 3. Right? Right! All right. Let's also give it a background color of, let's see, what would be a color for that? We'll make it background secondary, so we can tell what's going on there. Go back to Bootstrap, brackets, oops, and do that. Okay, so let's save that, see what it looks like so far. Go over here, and it refreshes page, and hopefully it'll, nothing happened. What did I do wrong here? Maybe I have to finish the rest off before we'll see anything. That could be, because the contents of the row have to add up to 12. This is 12, but so far we've just got this one for 3. There's nothing else in there. And also there's no content in there, so I'll put the word dog. That would really help. Save, there we go. And now we can see that's 3 columns wide, right, with dog on it. So that's why it wasn't showing. I hadn't put anything actually in there. All right, now the middle column, if we go back to here, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to take these guys, I'm going to paste that down there. So this is the content column, but instead of 3, it's 6. We'll get a different color. We'll use the info, background info there. Back to here. info. Save that. We'll go back to the... Okay, so now we have that area, and I'll type in that this is the content area, and I'll give myself a comment as well, just to remind myself. I actually put comments in things. It's a pretty good idea when you have a complex page to remind yourself of what's what. And in fact, we'll say, what shall we say? We'll say, goats are cool, which they are. Goats are very cool. Okay, so far it's looking pretty good. Background colors are Ricky, but that's okay. Now, so we've got a row here, right? First row for the header. It's 12 units wide, so 12 columns wide, so we're all set there. This one here, here's our second row. It's got, first column is 3. The first region, sorry, is 3 columns wide. The next region is 6 columns wide, which leaves us with 3 left. 1, 2, 3 for the right sidebar. So let's put that down here. Class equals COL. How many columns do we want? We want 3. And let's give this a background color of, let's make it warning. Okay, so BG-WARNING. Okay, so it's background warning. And this will put in, llamas are cool too, actually. I'll just put the word llamas. All right. So let's see. Aha! Look at that. Let's compare it to what we wanted. So we wanted a header, left sidebar, content, and right sidebar, and that's what we ended up with. The way we did it was 2 rows, 2 rows, one with the header and one with the 3 columns there. Of course, it looks weird because of all the color. If I take out the color, it will look more like a normal web page. You can see the preview updating there. And that looks a bit better. You can also use spacing and around the columns and between them. You can use margins and padding to do all that sort of stuff. So that's how you do the grid. Hope that helps.